The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of the network or its affiliates. This content is for informational purposes only and should not be considered medical advice nor treated as a replacement for diagnosis or treatment. Please consult your healthcare provider of choice regarding any personal changes to your health or treatment plan. A rapidly growing class of drugs is being hailed as a modern miracle, promising weight loss, diabetes control, and a healthier future for millions. Marketed as safe, effective, and even essential, they're known as GLP-1 injections. But could they carry devastating long-term side effects that few are even talking about? Today's guest reveals the origins of GLP-1 drugs, the side effects patients are reporting, and why questioning pharmaceutical solutions matters now more than ever. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Life TV Now, where we unpack all matters of truth, faith, and freedom. I'm your host, Joe Ardis Horn. Today's program is set to be absolutely explosive, and I would wager life-changing for the many of you watching from your homes today. Before we dive in, let me introduce who's here. She's an integrative nutrition health coach with a Master of Science in Health Education. Please welcome my co-host, Jamie Woodle.
Thank you.
And he's a leading voice in alternative medicine and the best-selling author of Moving Beyond the COVID-19 Lies, Restoring Health and Hope for Humanity, where he challenges government narratives and shares natural solutions for over 200 COVID and long COVID symptoms. He's the host of the popular Dr. Ardis Show podcast and co-founder of the Healing for the Ages Wellness Conference. Please welcome Dr. Bryan Ardis. Dr. Ardis, it's so wonderful to have you here today. I know that you're chomping at the bit to get started. We have a lot of ground to cover and never enough time to unpack all of it. I want to say at the onset, I've got a picture I'm going to bring up on the screen here, but we actually met last year in November at the Secrets in Healthcare Conference in Springfield, Missouri, hosted by our mutual friend, Billy Coppage. She's a total star in natural healing and a cross-pollinator. She introduces people to other people to other people. She's so good. And of course, holding the camera that took this photograph, our good buddy, John Richardson. But you and I got a chance to meet. I was blown away by your presentation, as I think everybody there live was. You talked a lot about nicotine, which we're going to be talking about in the weeks to come. Nicotine and its completely misunderstood perception that people hold toward it based on, multiple decades of programming. It's maligned, it is demonized, and yet could it be a miraculous treatment for a lot of autoimmunity disease? Where did these records get buried? Why don't more people know the miraculous healing properties of nicotine? But we're going to get into that later. First, it was an honor to have met you. Your beautiful wife is here today, who later on will be looking at Whispering Ponies Ranch. Thank you for joining us. GLP-1s. They're on the lips of so many right now. You see these get thin quick videos taking place online. People are heralding this as a miraculous new way of dealing with diabetes, and you can get your life back. And they'll show, video of people running at the beach and living their best life. And of course, their coloring is beautiful and they're healthy and they're living their absolute thrive is level 10. It seems to be everywhere. Can you tell us, the origins of GLP-1s? And what people aren't talking about in terms of the side effects that these drugs have.
Yeah, let's start with that. So the United States of America was actually one of the first ever countries to approve GLP-1 drugs. So an example would be, it's a very high talked about topic, obviously, around the world. Right. It's like super viral. Everybody's talking about it. Every celebrity on earth is being asked to endorse it, talk about it, use it.
Yeah.
So what are some of the examples of these? The most talked about would be Ozempic, Wegovy. Then you've got Mounjaro. You've got Zepbound, which is 2 drugs by Eli Lilly. But the actual manufacturer of the most sold GLP-1 drug is Novo Nordisk, and they own the 2 sister drugs, which they are the identical drug. It's called Ozempic and Wegovy, and the generic name of that drug is called semaglutide. So what do we need to know about these? These have been researched and developed since 1956, actually.
Really?
I have a pharmaceutical textbook copyrighted 1956, and the actual title of it reads Venoms.
Oh, wow.
And this is the manufacturing, isolating, and synthetic replication of the identical toxic nature of venoms found in nature being turned into pharmaceutical drugs. And in that textbook, one of the very first chapters is on the venom they use to produce what is now called GLP-1 drugs. And what most people don't know is these GLP-1 drugs don't have any GLP-1 in them. So this is number one. What everybody's being told about GLP-1s is that this is a GLP-1 drug. You'll see it on the label. You see it on the commercials. Wow. Does it shock anybody out there that there is no GLP-1 in the drug? Do you even
a lot of people, I'm sure, yeah.
Do you even know what GLP-1 is?
Well, no, most of the people maybe even watching this program would say, well, okay, they're talking about GLP-1, something about a venom. Hang on, you're losing me. So GLP-1 is a naturally occurring hormone release that your body utilizes to help you break down foods. It tells your brain, your gut, how to speed up digestion, how to slow down digestion. So, we're not going to give you the entire oral history today on GLP-1s, but what is it in your view that scientists have figured out, and why are they selling this, for these gimmicks without also disclosing maybe some of the potential side effects?
Yeah, so what everybody perceives is from the marketing is that this is a GLP-1 drug. We're told it's a hormone that helps the body burn fat, break down blood sugar, so it can be like a form of insulin for diabetics, help people lose weight. This is what they're most often promoted for. Mm-hmm. And the FDA just approved Wegovy to be covered by Medicare, by the way, for elderly on Medicare, to be covered by Medicare for heart disease, by the way. If there is no GLP-1 inside these shots, you're giving yourself weekly. GLP-1 drugs are a weekly once injection, a prescription for life, like a high blood pressure drug would be prescribed for life. Well, what's in there if it's not GLP-1? So what's in there is a venom protein called exendin-4. You can look it up, EXENDIN-4. It's isolated, actually. From the 50s, they started doing this, investigating the hunger-regulating venom qualities of the Gila monster lizard's venom, which is a lizard, deadly toxic lizard found in the southwest deserts of the United States. They isolated this venom protein called exendin-4, and they realized over the last 60 years, when you inject that into a human and it gets inside their bloodstream, every cell lining the inside of our blood vessels and inside of our gut, designed by God, these cells are called L cells. And if exendin-4, that venom protein, touches any of those cells as it's circulating in the bloodstream of a human or in your gut, when it touches the L cells, it triggers the L cells to release all of its GLP-1 hormone. This is why they're called GLP-1 drugs.
Oh, wow.
So this has been approved, though, by the FDA.
Yes.
And so they have a legal framework for doing this.
Yes.
And they don't have to disclose. Do you think the doctors actually know this? Or are they, and this is your opinion, so you're welcome to share it. Obviously, and I've said this many times, I'm not in the business of disparaging doctors. I know many good ones, they took that vocation because they want to help. They're a part of I think a system where academia has conditioned a lot of the medications that they're told to utilize with their patients.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not the doctors themselves that are looking like the Illuminati to depopulate the earth.
Right.
The people that they get their information from, though, on these drugs that are developed, taking nature and twisting one part of something like a fenugreek or an herb that we get from God so that they can then patent it. But it fundamentally changes its mechanical instructions. The way your body receives it is now foreign from the way that God intended for your body to receive nourishment. So, in other words, they're tinkering with the metabolic process of your body to produce a desired result. What person that has yo-yo dieted or has been exhausted with the idea of weight loss or has looked at too many catalog magazines as they've checked out at a grocery store feel unattractive?
Right. Yeah.
And they believe that, gosh, if I can lose 40 pounds, I can be the wife to my husband that he's always, desired that I be, or whatever. Men too, worried about, weight loss and things, taking shortcuts. But there are some ramifications. Obviously, if we accept the premise that this is venom, what does that do to our bodies in the long run? Because there are people dropping weight really quick, and they're telling their neighbors, I did it quick. I didn't even have to do anything. I get this injection and bing. But it's a Faustian deal with the devil. Can I frame it that way? You're bartering against science that you have no concept of in the long run.
Talk about side effects and unwanted side effects. The benefits might be you might reduce your hunger intake. What does it do? Just so you know, when you inject yourself with this Exendin-4 protein that are called GLP-1 drugs, whether you microdose them in a little bit or the full dosage, how it regulates hunger as it is promoted is it paralyzes the sphincter at the bottom of your stomach from allowing the food you just swallowed to go into your intestines. So when you eat your breakfast croissant in the morning, drink your coffee, it goes into your stomach. After you've injected yourself with this stuff, it paralyzes your stomach's ability to empty the food you swallowed into your intestine.
Right.
So what's the number one published side effect long-term that lasts years after stopping Ozempic and Wegovy type drugs? For years. It's called cyclic vomiting. You will vomit nonstop everything you eat all day long, multiple times a day. Every time you swallow water, eat food, you will continue to throw it up. Why? Because it can't go down. So as you eat breakfast and it comes lunchtime and you're at work with your colleagues, it's time to go break for lunch. You're going to sit there and you're going to feel still full from in the morning, but you're going to feel the peer pressure of and the normalcy of eating a second meal of your day.
Sure.
So you're going to eat it, and it's going to pile on top of food still sitting in your stomach from a paralyzed muscle from being opened to allow the food empty into your intestines where it can be processed and turned into nutrition for your body. The body will reject it, and you will start vomiting it up. So cyclic vomiting called gastroparesis. Gastro means stomach in Latin. Paresis means paralyzed. That's the number one published side effect of GLP-1 drugs, is a paralyzed stomach.
This is research people can go look up.
Oh, no.
These are published side
This is
effects.
more than this. Okay. So there is a black box warning that comes with the FDA. So the FDA approved this drug in 2016 or 17. When they approved it, they had to put the most damaging, life-threatening side effect of this drug is any form of medullary thyroid cancer being diagnosed in the first 36 months of using it.
Oh, no.
So within 12 to 36 months, it is the FDA's most serious warning on the package insert. Your medical doctor who's given you this drug for weight loss and diabetes should be telling you within 12 to 36 months, there is an FDA black box warning that you will develop medullary thyroid cancer, and that risk goes up massively in the next 3 years. So I'd like to ask you first, is thyroid cancer better than just being overweight and a diabetic? Is it?
No.
Gastroparesis also is a published side effect, and it's the number one being reported. Did you know, though, in September of 2025, a class action lawsuit of $2 billion was just filed against the makers of Ozempic and Wegovy?
I was going to ask you, with all of this being leveraged, the viewer at home is probably thinking, okay, but if this was large scale, there'd be lawsuits, right?
This is a $2 billion lawsuit, one of the biggest in recorded pharmaceutical history. Over 10,000 complaints are filed. Do you want to know what the number one complaint is? It wasn't thyroid cancers being diagnosed in a year to 3 years. It was not paralyzed stomach and cyclic vomiting. Do you know what it is? The majority of them who are suing that company for allowing them to inject themselves something FDA approved, which our government, supposedly the FDA approval has been programmed into our brains, that this has been reviewed and found safe and effective for consumers that we are here to protect in America.
That's right.
Do you know what the number one complaint is for a $2 billion lawsuit?
Do any of you know?
And if you're wondering, this actually, go to robertkinglawfirm.com. And you can look at why it is they are representing thousands of clients in this $2 billion lawsuit. The number one reason the majority of those thousands of people have hired this law firm is because while injecting themselves with this Exendin-4 protein called a GLP-1 drug, they are waking up in the morning and they can't see out of one of their eyes, and they are permanently blind for the rest of their life.
Oh, my goodness. As a health educator, I'm incredibly concerned. Obviously, thyroid cancer, nobody wants that. That's awful. Cancer's already so prevalent. But also, in addition to all this, the blindness, do you think this could be from the venom, or is it a nutritional deficiency? Because obviously, if you're eating and the food is not being digested, your body's not getting the nutrients it needs. It's not getting the protein for muscle. And one side effect that I know of is you basically eat your own muscle because it's not able to digest and get what it needs, which is incredibly alarming for those who are older, especially because your muscle mass is incredibly important to longevity and quality of life in your older years. So I can't believe blindness on top of all the others.
Do you know that one of the published side effects of this promoted for diabetes drug from the beginning, it has listed that a severe side effect is diabetic retinopathy? Do you know what that is? This is for diabetics. Do you know what diabetic retinopathy is? You go blind from diabetes. No, that's the side effect of Ozempic and Wegovy. It literally crosses the actual, what they call the GLP-1 drug is Exendin-4. Go look it up. And I invite everybody at home, please do this. Don't just listen to me. Go look up on Google. Type in Business Insider, Gila Monster, Gila Monster Venom, Ozempic. And look at the fork-tongued lizard and read the article of how they discovered this venom protein in this Gila monster that is now called Ozempic. It's not just me. Go look it up. Go read it. And then go look at this law firm and go look at it. What's happening is the venom crosses the blood-brain barrier and it will actually paralyze the nerve function of your optic nerve and you'll go blind permanently. $2 billion lawsuit. So I'd like to ask you, is medullary thyroid cancer, cyclic vomiting for years after stopping the drug, and you can go look up CNN articles right now, for the last 3 years, Hollywood celebrities complaining about gastroparesis, vomiting nonstop for months and years after even stopping the drug. The venom binds to your nerve receptors in any part of your body. After it's injected into your body, wherever it binds to, you're going to have prolonged side effects of that chemical, which they want you to believe is a drug.
What I appreciate about you, Dr. Ardis, is that you're so transparent. So while he says things that, the audience that's totally unprepared may find shocking, he always backs it up with, here's the website, here's the lawsuit, here's the resource, here's what the news is covering, here are the celebrities that have identified. So it's not just shrouded in mystery. Like, really, if we just did our own reading, all of us would know this. Do you agree?
Amen. Yeah, I tell people all the time, I love when people try to question what I'm saying and what I'm presenting. Factcheck.org. USA Today, New York Times. I mean, all these people have written fact-check articles about me nonstop for the last 6 years. And you know what's interesting? They will email me, some of these journalists will, and they'll go, can you please provide evidence for your claims on this video? And I'll go, yes. And within 1 hour, I respond to all of them with all the research, and I will say, but I'm going to supply you with this research. You cannot say I did not respond to you. That's the only rule. Do you know what they say? Instead, go read all the New York Times articles, New York Post, Washington Post. Go read them. They actually will say, Dr. Ardis was not available for immediate response. Immediate, I don't know what you think within an hour. If that's not immediate, what do you want? Like within 1 minute? This is the way journalism gets away with it.
Wow.
So I would like to, if you're okay with this, I would like to share with you guys something also I think it's very important that everybody knows about GLP-1 drugs, because right now, as you're seeing a $2 billion lawsuit, I want you guys to recognize something. In October or November of 2025, Donald Trump had the CEO of Novo Nordisk come into the Oval Office. Dr. Oz was there, RFK Jr.'s in the room, and they do this huge press conference where Donald Trump is announcing he has worked out a deal with the makers of GLP-1 drugs from Denmark, which is where Novo Nordisk is. They're standing and they're doing the press conference. If y'all remember this, it went viral. The CEO of Novo Nordisk, this venom-laced drug, collapsed in the middle of the press conference.
Yeah.
Just fainted. But Donald Trump was announcing, I have worked out a deal to make GLP-1 drugs cheaper for Americans. Congratulations. All right, on the cusp of that, you're now hearing about all the problems with this $2 billion lawsuit. This was damage control coming into the Oval Office a few months later to say we're now going to make this available cheaper for everybody. I want to make sure everybody knows now you're seeing micro-dosing recommendations. Just a little bit.
Ask you about that. Yeah.
Just a little bit of this is better.
Slow it down just a little bit, little intravenous. You get the benefits, but none of the side effects.
Let me ask you.
Does that square with Dr. Ardis?
No, if Poison Control told you Clorox in your laundry room was bad for your kid and they drank it, what if they said, well, microdosing is okay? Just drink a little bit of Clorox.
Well, they actually do that with a lot of stuff.
Yeah. All right. So I would like to bring your attention to a research study I just found a couple weeks ago that was published in 2024. Can I read the title? And just something everybody needs to hear about GLP-1 drugs called Ozempic, Wegovy, Zepbound, Majorna. You guys okay with that? For those of you, because I know you don't know most likely, those of you watching, this is from Scientific Reports. I will show you the title of the study. Here it is. And it reads, the risk of depression, anxiety, and suicidal behavior in patients with obesity on glucagon-like peptide 1, GLP-1 drugs, receptor agonist therapy. So all GLP-1 drugs are called GLP-1 RA, receptor agonist. Okay, I want to read to you the title again, The Risk of Depression, Anxiety, and Suicidal Behavior. So anybody out there thinking, I think my wife or my husband should try Ozempic or Wegovy, they literally name it. We are talking about semaglutide, which is Ozempic and Wegovy, the generic name. I'm going to read this to you. This is a study done from January 1st, 2015 through December 31st, 2023. The total number of people on these drugs called GLP-1 drugs, Ozempic and Wegovy, the study included 162,253 case patients. I think I would like you to read the statement here, okay? For all of you wondering, these are miraculous drugs that are reversing diabetes, and my friends are all losing weight. I would like you to just read this statement all the way to the end, highlighted. Read it out loud, please.
Okay. The study showed a significant association between GLP-1 RA treatment and a 98% increased risk of any psychiatric disorders.
Period. Hold up.
98%?
I didn't know that.
Can you name a psychiatric disorder? Hold up. Let's just read that again, slower with punching the last 4 words.
This study showed a significant association between GLP-1 RA treatment and a 98% increased risk of any psychiatric disorders.
Can you name a psychiatric disorder?
Depression, schizophrenia.
Anxiety,
Oh, let's go worse.
sense of
Yeah,
foreboding
schizophrenia.
multiple
Yeah.
personality disorders.
Bipolarism,
Yeah.
Yeah.
OCD, PTSD.
Life altering.
Now, what did it say was a 98% of what? Any.
Yeah, any of them.
Psychiatric
So almost
disorders.
everyone.
Wow.
So if you would like your loved one to go just any crazy,
oh,
is
no.
98% a lot? Is 98% a lot? Is 98% enough?
Oh.
This is not a small study, by the way. 162,000 people. All right,
Yeah.
read the next statement, please. Go, it gets worse.
Notably, patients on GLP-1 RAs exhibited a 195% higher risk of major depression, 108% increased risk for anxiety, and 106% elevated risk for suicidal behavior.
Not thoughts, suicidal behavior. So, I would like to ask you, why do you think people are looking for a quick fix for their diabetes or obesity, which is what they're targeting the most, right? People who are obese
sure.
typically they feel like there's a social stigma related to them. They're judged, they're shamed for
Sure.
being overweight. This Ozempic Wegovy, I'm seeing these beautiful people dancing on screen. I think I need this beautiful drug to save my life.
Yeah.
It will help reduce the depression, anxiety that I'm experiencing from my weight gain.
Oh, no.
Really? Do you know this information? Did Donald Trump bring this up in the Oval Office when he brought in the CEO of Novo Nordisk? Do you think making this drug cheaper and more accessible to all Americans is a better idea? I mean, for 30 years, you've seen the fallout of SSRIs, which are antidepressants, which have already homicide and suicide risk as its published side effects. And now you're going to promote something that's going to be life-changing for you, the way you see yourself and the way the world sees you. Is this going to add to your depression or make it better? What does the research tell you?
And sadly, most people probably don't know. I know that I've been prescribed things, especially in the past, before I really relied on God's medicine. And they don't necessarily tell you the side effects. Maybe when you go pick it up from the pharmacy, they'll ask if there's anything you want to know or if we have any
Right.
questions.
Out of sight, out of
And I
mind.
never thought to ask, well, hey, what are the side effects? People need to know this. This is an important factor when you're trying to decide what you're going to put in your body and you weigh the pros and cons.
That's right.
People need to know.
But see, that's why this program exists, because we want to make the viewer aware of this system that we're always referring to as the Babylonian construct. It's fake news, fake medicine,
Yeah.
fake protocols, fake laws, fake judicial systems. Everything's fake. And when we illuminate the truth and you learn, you can help us evangelize people that are in your circle that may be either flirting with the idea of starting a medication like this or are already on it. Say, hey, did you know there's this episode? Let me share this with you. There are some things. You can go fact check this. You can go research this yourself. Dr. Ardis is being completely transparent about it.
Yeah.
But they count on your ignorance. They count on your not asking for
that's
the
true.
side effects. They bank on you're just assuming that if your doctor is making a recommendation, that he knows more about your body than you do because he went to college for multiple years. They're banking on that. Do you see it? Yes. You can see it. So I mentioned earlier, GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide 1, is a natural occurring hormone that your brain releases to tell your body how to metabolize things like food, insulin, things like that. Then we've obviously covered a bunch of ground where man has completely tormented science to produce an artificial result that comes with a lot of side effects. But there are foods, right, that support this natural process, correct?
Yes. So everybody's body has these L cells we mentioned earlier, and they are designed to release GLP-1 hormone. And what I don't think most people realize is the reason why these drugs are so effective and why you only do once a week injections is because the body doesn't tear down that venom. It just continues to circulate through the blood for days. So this is why they can inject it once a week. The difference between food eliciting GLP-1 release in the human body. Do you know it only has a half-life, GLP-1 hormone? When you swallow food it only has a 2-minute half-life.
Oh, wow.
Which means within 8 to 10 minutes, generally, it's gone. So it has a very short life.
Which is what God intended.
Which is what he intended.
Yeah.
However, if you're looking for the miracle of GLP-1, there are a few foods I've learned about that actually can trigger up to 4 hours release of GLP-1 hormone at huge levels without venom. Without
Naturally and healthfully?
All naturally. Yep.
Okay.
There's actually a plant sugar called allulose, allulose.
Okay.
That stimulates any dose you take of allulose. It will release GLP-1 hormone in the body for 4 hours. Now, generally, human beings are awake for 12 to 16 hours. So if you just ate some allulose or made sure you ate some of that plant-based sugar, which has no calories, by the way. It's a sugar-free sugar tasting plant extract. When you take allulose, which is actually in our Hydrate Complete product I just released to handle the dehydration issues of the world, that's what we sweeten it with, was allulose for this reason. It has GLP-1 on the actual icon for the actual product.
And that's a product that you carry.
It is. I just released it a month and a half ago.
So the people watching this immediately, where am I going to get this? So with just a couple of minutes left on the clock, please share your website and let people know where they can learn more about you.
Yeah, so you can go to thedrardisshow.com and learn more about my Hydrate Complete from my brand of products called Nature Wins, because I believe God's nature is way better than what man tries to manipulate it and call it medicine. So butter's the second thing I want everybody to know. Did you know butter releases GLP-1 hormone?
I didn't know that.
No, but that puts me in good shape because I eat a lot of butter.
I love butter. Eat your butter. These are just examples. And just so you know, I'm actually working with the manufacturer right now. We have sourced 8 to 10 different plants from around the world, all organic from various farms. We will be releasing in the next few months our own proven clinically. We've already proven it. GLP-1 boosting, all natural, God created plant extract for people. They can take just a tablespoon every day, and it is miraculous. And within hours, it drops your blood sugar back into the normal range, even over 200.
Oh, wow.
We've seen this. It's amazing. Within 30 minutes, it's incredible. And people just shred rate. We've had one guy lose 70 pounds in 30 days just taking our plant-based GLP-1 boosting product, and that will be available in the next few months. You can do things with God's nature. You don't need man's medicine.
Incredible. Wow.
Well, I had alluded to that earlier when I said, we take things from nature and then we either hybridize it or we'll change one portion of it to then be able to patent it so that we can keep others from getting the monopoly on this thing that we're going to do, that we're going to make billions and billions and billions of dollars on. And we do it at the expense of human beings all the time. We talk about it all the time being the Babylonian construct. We're out of time, but do you guys want to do this again with Dr. Bryan Ardis?
I do.
He said it best. You don't need these pharmaceuticals. You use God's medicine. He has created it for our consumption, for the good of our bodies, because he knew better than scientists what he was doing when he made human beings and food, right?
Amen.
Dr. Bryan Ardis is going to be back next week again to do some more of this. For everybody here in studio, everybody up here on panel, Dr. Bryan Ardis, Jamie, thank you so much for joining us. Keep your eyes on the prize, which is Jesus Christ. We'll be back.